Jim, 2 wins from two to start the season. That was a real game of two halves, that one.
Yeah, listen, it's we obviously we went and watched Portadown Saturday, and they started the game extremely bright. Scored two early goals Saturday, and they're a threat. They've got quality all over the pitch, and they started the game really brightly tonight again. And they had a couple of early chances, and we dealt with it. I thought we dealt with everything that they threw at us through the entire game. Defensively, I'm extremely pleased for the boys because they've worked extremely hard over the first two games away from home. We've kept 2 clean sheets, and that's from front to back. It's not just the back 5 and the goalkeeper; it's the whole 11. They were incredible, putting their bodies on the line. And like I say, there's not going to be too many teams will come away to Mornview Park and away to Shamrock Park and score 2 and keep a clean sheet. So from that side of things, I'm absolutely delighted. And for as long as we can keep teams out, we've got match winners in the team. And obviously Ben scored not a spectacular goal and not a Ben Kennedy goal, but listen, we'll take it. And then Jack O'Reilly's come up with a moment of magic, and he's shown us in pre-season. That's why we brought him to the club. I think there was maybe a lot of people raised eyebrows when we brought him in. He was unknown, but we knew what he had. He's shown that glimpses of that in pre-season. He's disappointed that he hasn't started any of the 2 games, as his other players. But I turned to the bench to start the second half and said to him, make sure you're mentally prepared because you're going to win us the game. And, when I look at the substitutions we made, I thought Jarvie was super when he came on. Again, the bench are disappointed that none of them have featured in the 2 games, certainly started. We've had to leave players out, but it's going to be a squad game. And we're going to need everybody through the entire season. Jack O'Reilly's come on, like I say, a moment of magic. And I'm delighted for him. Jarvie, incredible. We asked him to come on, control the game, see it out, and he did that. Some of his blocks, some of his tackles, and just his work rate. So I'm absolutely delighted for the boys and delighted for the travelling support. They were down here again Tuesday night in their numbers, and we've given them something to go home celebrating. So from that side of things, I'm absolutely over the moon. It's 2 games, 2 wins, 2 clean sheets.
What was the message at half time? Because the first half was a bit of a struggle. It wasn't helped by a game that seemed to be stop-start the whole way through. But the second half, we looked a completely different team and controlled probably all.
Listen, you're seeing this league. They're all extremely difficult games. Like I say, you've come away to Portadown. They're at home. They want to get on the front foot. We knew we needed to step up and defend and be resolute. And put our bodies on the line. Yes, we didn't get going, but you're going to find that in games. It's about how you deal with it. It's about not crumbling under the pressure, and we certainly didn't do that. The chat at half time was start the game bright in the second half. We were down the hill, get into their faces a wee bit more and be on the front foot more. And we've done that second half, and they couldn't get out. And fair play to our boys because, like I say, they took the instructions on really well at half time. They listened to what we had told them. They dug in. And they were clinical when we had the 2 chances, and that's all you can ask for.
And the momentum going into our first home game on Saturday is great now with 2 wins, but as you've also touched on there, not just 2 wins, but 2 clean sheets on the road, you can't ask for much more.
No, we can't, but listen, Saturday is going to be an extremely difficult game. Let's not beat about the bush here. Bangor are doing what they're doing because they deserve it. Lee Feeney has done a tremendous job in getting the boys promoted. I was at the game the other week against Cliftonville and they deserved it. And I don't think he gave his team the credit that they deserved. I think he was saying that Cliftonville had an off day. His team were absolutely superb. And it's going to be an extremely difficult game. They went to the Oval on Saturday and they lost narrowly. And you think it was maybe a soft goal that they gave away. So we know we're going to be in for a really tough game. We need everybody to be at it, the whole squad. I would love for a massive turnout for a first home game and get the fans backing the players, because when they back the players like they did tonight and at Mornview, it gives them that extra 1%, and that's all we can ask for. And like I say, we look forward to getting back home to the showgrounds on Saturday.